The new addition to the North Penn High School is officially open and dedicated to the community it serves. The addition project is the pinnacle of form and function. Since the groundbreaking in October of 1997, the building was completed in just 2 short years.
Ladies and gentlemen, 28 years ago, this shovel on July 2nd was used to dig ground and begin the process for building the new high school. I'm proud to say today that this is the only high school, and this high school has been found to be faithful and true. It has built many a character.
The addition was designed with a seamless integration of new and old buildings in mind. Construction moved along quickly with minimal disturbance to the rest of the building. The main inconvenience was felt by North Penn High School senior drivers, whose parking spots were relocated as the addition construction progressed. By the end of the first year, the new cafeteria addition was completed and ready for business. Students quickly took to this bright and roomy eating space. The new cafeteria addition includes a new dish room, faculty dining area, and school store. With the completion of the cafeteria, the main addition construction progressed at record speeds. Soon, the outline of the building was apparent. Before the 1998-1999 school year was out, students and staff could see how magnificent this addition was going to be. The new addition added enough room for 775 additional students with a 248-seat audion, 6 chemistry labs, 2 new computer labs, a new future plan center, and administrative offices. The addition takes up 93,000 square feet, making the North Penn High School a 526,397 square foot facility. Enough room for our growing student population and the resources for the challenges of the next century. The pinnacle of form and function, the new and improved North Penn High School is truly a building for the future.
Good morning and welcome. My name is Bob Hassler, the very proud superintendent of the North Penn School District. Please join me in a hand for the North Penn Marching Knights under the direction of Mr. Ted Heller. May we have your attention as the Marching Knights play America the Beautiful. I would ask the audience to please stand and join us and the Pledge of Allegiance led by the Honorable John Fichter, State Representative. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honored guests, board members, students, business and municipal leaders, administrators, staff, and friends. I want to welcome everyone to the dedication of the addition to the North Penn High School. This is a proud and exciting day in the history of the North Penn School District. In preparing for today, I came across a quote regarding education which reads, "The purpose of education is to transmit the culture of a society to its young. In accomplishing this, it is hoped that the individual will be armed with the knowledge, strength of judgment, and virtues, as well as the ability to make a living, and in the process, preserve the heritage of the nation and the achievements of the previous generations." And although we could all debate and argue over these words, and we would all add or revise to them a bit, this edition is certainly a sign that this community provides not only the programs, instruction, materials, and involvement to ensure that we meet our expectations for educating the children of the North Penn School District, but it also provides the appropriate facilities. On behalf of the administration, I thank the Board of Education and community for their support in providing this excellent learning environment. Before we begin our program, it is my pleasure to recognize the following individuals: the North Penn Board of School Directors, and I would ask them to stand as I call their name and be recognized. President Donna Mengel, Vice President Don Hill, Mrs. Vicki Scher, Mr. Patrick Mosey, Mr. Vince Sherpinski, Mr. John Schilling, Mr. Frank O'Donnell, Mrs. Teresa Perkowski, and Mr. Bill Allen, who is unable to be here today. Thank you very much. I would also like to recognize the following past board members who were unable to be with us, but had a hand in the planning. Mr. Tom Clemens, past board president, Mr. David Weitz, and Mrs. Charisse Krieger. Also with us are North Penn student leaders, Emily Clinch from the class of 2000. Emily, would you please stand? Sundip Shaw, J.B. Ward, class of 2002, and Sagar Bhatt, student body president. We also have with us today representatives from student government and also the North Penn Honor Society. Also on stage is Dr. Timothy Daniels, Department of Education, Dr. Vincent Cotter, North Penn High School principal, Dr. Don Venema, assistant superintendent, and Mr. Jeff Jordan, president of the North Penn Education Association. And with us in the audience is a special friend and a special fellow colleague, Mr. Arthur Wood, our recently retired Executive Director of Support Services. And excuse me for missing Sandy Cho, president of the class of 2000. Sandy. I also want to thank Christine Liberoski, coordinator of School and Community Services, and her staff, and Bob Gilmer and Mary Fakish of Channel 16 for organizing this dedication. Thank you, Christine. And also, a group that we cannot miss, our maintenance and custodial staff, who were here working late last night until about 1:15 to make sure that our facility was as shiny and new and beautiful as it is, as we were enjoying our big win over CB East, or that some of us were at home enjoying time with our family. So really a thank you to our staff who, behind the scenes, provided this beautiful setting. I'd like to recognize the Honorable John Fichter, State Representative from the 70th Legislative District, who has been kind enough to join us. Representative Godshaw from the 53rd District, Bob Godshaw. And at this time, I would like to introduce the Honorable Stuart Greenleaf, Pennsylvania State Senator from the 12th District, who has a special Senate citation to be presented to the district. Senator Greenleaf.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here today and to participate in this dedication. I know it's been a long time coming, and I want to congratulate the school board and the administrators for this accomplishment. It's a beautiful facility. And walking up here, I think I was coming onto a college campus. I mean, it is big, and you have one of the largest school districts. I don't have to tell you this, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. But having that, you have a lot of challenges from dealing with that. You have to balance the taxpayers' monies and be frugal with those monies, but also have to provide a good education for your children, and you know that too. I'm sure you hear that every time you have a school board meeting. And this facility is a representation of that. So Senate of Pennsylvania. By the way, it was adopted unanimously. One of the few things we've adopted unanimously recently in this. I know the House of Representatives does that all the time. By the way, also with us is Representative Ray Button sitting in the back there. So let's give him a hand. So what I'd like to do is just read portions of it, and of course my colleague Senator Hall here, and I know that he'll be up here right after me. It says, whereas the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is always pleased to recognize those institutions which contribute in a meaningful way towards the well-being of the community and ultimately to all the people of this state, and whereas North Penn High School is being honored October 23rd, 1999 during the dedication ceremony for its new addition, and whereas the addition to the high school will include 23 classrooms, 2 computer rooms, 6 chemistry laboratories, a health suite, the principal's office, and 250-seat auditorium theater. School's cafeteria has also been restored to include a 240-seat extension. I read that in the paper too. It's quite a job. Congratulations on you. And now, therefore, the Senate of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania congratulates the North Penn High School on this special milepost in its proud history, offers sincere best wishes for continued growth and commitment to educational excellence in the years to come, and it directs that I, along with Senator Hall, who is also the co-sponsor of this resolution, and myself, present this to you today. So congratulations. Also, I brought with me, along with Representative Blunt and myself, a U.S. Mint proof set, 1999 set, and we'd like to present this to you as well, and hopefully you can display it in an appropriate place. So congratulations.
Thank you, Senator Greenleaf. At this time, I would like to invite and introduce Honorable Edwin Hall, Pennsylvania State Senator from the 24th Legislative District, to come forward and present a special letter from the Governor. Senator Hall.
Thank you, Superintendent Hassler. Members of the legislature who are here today joining in this very important occasion, ladies and gentlemen, the members of the board of this great North Penn School District have done a tremendous job through the years and met one of the biggest challenges they've had recently in developing this fine facility. And of course to the faculty of the school district and friends. Governor Ridge couldn't be with you today, so he sent a good second. And he said that I should read a letter, which I'll do, and I'll make it brief. Greetings. It gives me great pleasure to join the North Penn School District and the entire North Penn area in celebrating the dedication of the new North Penn High School in Lansdale. The North Penn community enjoys an inspirational tradition of civic pride and academic excellence. Education stands as the cornerstone of this great Commonwealth. Our history reflects a proud tradition of inspired students, dedicated educators, and distinguished institutions of learning. With the opening of the new high school, North Penn residents and students will enjoy a new anticipation of the excitement and achievement of the North Penn community. With such outstanding accomplishments, it is appropriate for the citizens to unite in celebration of a rich history while anticipating an even greater future. And I'm delighted to read further, as Governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, I am always pleased to commend efforts that reflect commitment to our families, our communities, and our Commonwealth. Congratulations to the citizens of the North Penn for another important contribution to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. On behalf of all Pennsylvanians, I offer best wishes and continued prosperity in the many years to come. And I'm delighted to present this letter to the President of the North Penn School District Board, Donna Mengel.
Thank you, Senator Hall. I would like to take a moment to read a note that I received in the mail just recently from a special friend of the North Penn School District. Dear Bob, my plans to attend the North Penn High School addition dedication have been crushed by the press of obligations here in Indiana. I know how proud the community will be of this addition and what it will provide the students. Congratulations to the Board of Education for planning and completing such a fine learning facility. I still hope to get a first-hand look at what I have only ever seen on paper. Art, I could always use your help, and Indiana is really a nice place to visit during retirement. Continued good luck to my friends in the North Penn School District, and one more thing, beat CB West. Regrets, Bud Bowes, former superintendent. Two more key participants in this project need to be recognized. No construction project can work out as smoothly and as beautiful without an architect and a general contractor who are just top-notch. I'd like, at this point, to have representatives from Breslin Architects and Rosetto Contractors please stand and be recognized. Bob Breslin and Frank Buchwald. Out the educational process at the local level. State Department of Education for guidance and support in carrying out this process in our community schools. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Timothy Daniels, Director of the Office of Educational Initiatives for the Pennsylvania Department of Education, who has been so kind to take time out of his busy schedule and be a part of our dedication today. Dr. Daniels.
Thank you, Dr. Hassler. It's good to be here this morning. Rather than reiterate the list of distinguished guests who are here, I will just say good morning to them as fans of quality education. Your attendance here really bespeaks the momentous nature of this occasion. I'll be brief this morning, no matter how long it takes. And you could really go on for quite a bit, which I'll spare you because you're here and see it. As you drive to the building, what you notice is a beautiful edifice that looks like a school. That's something in this day and age of new school construction. I speak as a former business manager of a school district that built buildings. And secondly, it's astounding to me that the project came in under budget. Think of that in this day and age. Just two things. I would start out by asking the students who are here, there's several at least this way and probably some mingled in the crowd, How important are your grades to you? Not a hesitation, very important. Tell their student leaders. Perhaps I should also ask the parents, are your grades to you? And as my students and children are now adults, but as they will tell you, sometimes the conversation in our family stressed the importance of grades at key moments in their high school career. Pennsylvania has added a new twist to this importance. As the Governor Ridge announced last Monday, North Penn Senior High School has won a school performance funding award for improving their 98-99 state test scores and 98-99 student attendance by meaningful amounts. Some of you have probably already heard that, but let me tell you specifically, they won $54,000 for improving their PSSA scores, Pennsylvania's system of school assessment scores, which measure academic standards. They improved those scores by 85 points collectively, and $27,720 for improving their attendance. To put it in context, fewer than 900 schools out of 3,200 public schools in the Commonwealth won school performance awards. So it's no mean feat. And it's no mean feat while an addition is being put onto the building. No problem. Easy, right, Dr. Carter? Right? You do two things like that at one time. It's called Hercules. School performance funding, which I'm happy to say my office administers, so this is a very timely time for me to speak, is part of Pennsylvania's overall emphasis on the importance of education through a drive to increase quality. This drive to quality features, besides performance funding, 1, rigorous academic standards, 2, PSSA, Pennsylvania System of School Assessment Testing for accountability, 3, school profiles. That's a code name for school report cards. We have a website at the department that has a report card for over 3,200 public schools in the Commonwealth. And it's a popular website. Our website gets over 15 million hits a year. It's one of the most active websites in the state. 4, proficiency seals, so that when students take PSSA tests, they will be meaningful to them. If they achieve at a level of outstanding or proficient, they will get seals to add to their high school diplomas as another calling card for continuing education or part of their resume. That will be coming in next year and the year after that. 5th thing I could talk about, and this is a 1-hour presentation, but I'll spare you, is Link to Learn, which has put Pennsylvania #1 or #2, depending on which technological studies you favor, but 1 or 2 out of 50 states isn't bad, has put Pennsylvania right up there in the top 1 or 2 in the country in educational technology. Well known. 6, the Governor's Institutes for Teachers. We've had Governor's Institutes for students, but under this administration and Secretary Hickok's leadership, we've instituted institutes for teachers, Governor's Institutes, which feature quality in service and workshops for teachers throughout the Commonwealth. And 7th, we have distributed and intermediate units throughout the Commonwealth have helped to in-service thousands of teachers on our classroom resource kits in math and reading, and more are forthcoming in science, social studies, and early childhood education. Now, what is the response to this on a local level? Well, in a way, you see it firsthand. This building might be an example of housing a quality program in a quality building. Another is the academic improvement on what many think was a good track record here to begin with. You know, it's harder to improve a relatively high-performing school than a low-performing school. There's a little statistical thing called regression to the means, which means it's higher for high performers to keep on improving, especially when there's an absolute ceiling in the test, and yet they did it here, and that's a meaningful thing for you all to consider. And it's leading to things such as this, which are really celebrations of the academic success of school buildings throughout the state. Secretary Hickok and myself and others have had occasion to attend what are tantamount to academic pep rallies throughout the state as schools begin to make meaningful progress toward achieving high educational standards. To take a slightly different tack now, early in, after I was a teacher and while I was still a principal, and I was a trustee of the National Middle School Association, I had the occasion to dedicate a building in 1980. And that building, I think of it as a new building, but I guess it's an older building now. It's still there, and it's in the Solanco School District. So it's nice today, actually it's 19 years later, to be here. And why I'm talking about the passage of time, I'll close by saying that as a 1963 Abington High School graduate, I thought that I had seen the biggest and the best. You know, that was one of the biggest first suburban high schools. So it's nice to see, 36 years later, that my definition of biggest and best is still expanding. Right now, you're it. Congratulations on your accomplishment in building this magnificent new facility, and I think more importantly, congratulations for the educational results you're achieving within the building.
Thank you, Dr. Daniels. Good schools and mediocre schools function with many diverse and competing needs. But excellent schools are those schools in which there is collaboration, support, involvement, and excellent teaching. I feel fortunate to be able to work with the president of the Teachers Association who represents a staff who continuously strives to provide the best education for our students. I'd like to introduce Mr. Jeff Jordan, president of the North Penn Education Association and faculty member of the North Penn Senior High. Jeff?
Thank you, Dr. Hassler, and welcome community members. We are obviously here today to dedicate this building, this addition, to North Penn High School. Certainly as a modern building, it presents us with new technologies and new ways for teaching and educating our students. But rather than simply carry out ceremonies to consecrate the bricks and steel and glass of this structure, I would hope we use this occasion to dedicate and renew ourselves, the people of the North Penn community. This addition represents not only a new way to teach our children, but more importantly, it represents a renewal of the spirit of the North Penn School District and the North Penn community. Rather than just gaze upon this addition's marvelous architectural exterior, we should use it to look within ourselves and renew the feelings that bond this community to its schools and to each other. As a symbol, I hope we as members of the North Penn community will use this new addition of the original building as a beacon, leading us forward to a new North Penn community, a community where business as usual will no longer be tolerated, a community where the students, the teachers, the administrators, the school board, and the citizens can and will all work with each other in order for the educators of this building and all the buildings of the North Penn School District to continue to deliver quality education to the most important resource this community and any community can possibly have, and that, of course, is our children. Let us not only dedicate this addition today, let us also dedicate ourselves to a new spirit and a new era in which all of us who make up this community that we call North Penn can live and work and learn together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. You know, the day-to-day work of shuffling papers, completing reports, and responding to complaints is not what makes the job of a superintendent really rewarding. But it is coming to a building and seeing the educational process in action. And this doesn't happen without an excellent staff led by an outstanding building principal. And I guarantee that if you want to see this action firsthand, visit this high school. Every ship has a captain, and for the work that this individual gives to the students and staff of the North Penn High School, I affectionately refer to him as the admiral of the ship. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Vincent Cotter, principal. Dr. Cotter.
Good morning. Certainly this is a large school, but let me begin by saying it really works. It truly works. It's a great place to be. We have a wonderful student body, a few members seated in front of us, and a truly wonderful faculty. And I'd really like to recognize our faculty that are here this morning before I begin my remarks. If they could please stand and please acknowledge them, because they're truly what makes it happen here. Faculty that are here, please stand. Thank you. It is fitting that as our society and community prepare to enter the new millennium, we, as a community, meet in the concourse to dedicate not only our beautiful addition, but to renew our commitment to the current and future student bodies of North Penn High School. One can never divorce the past from the future, nor can one ever remain in the past and prepare for the future. The tradition of North Penn High School is one of excellence, one of commitment, one of involvement. This concourse symbolically links our strong tradition of achievement and accomplishment to a vision that provides our students with the skills that will allow them to flourish in the millennium. In conjunction with a dedicated faculty and staff, these new facilities, along with a rigorous curriculum and high expectations, will keep the tradition of excellence alive. In fact, as mentioned earlier, and we're quite proud of this, in fact, with some of the highest scores in the state of Pennsylvania, and with the implementation of a culminating project, and with building goals that focus on achievement, the vision is truly becoming a reality. Thank you, community, board members, Central Administration, thank you for providing us with a facility that encourages our students to truly reach higher for success. Thank you so much.
Obviously, a facility like this is built for the students. It was also the foresight of the Board of Education to make sure that it could also be used by the community. And the next part of our program will focus on the dedication of our Audion, and I'd like to introduce our Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Don Venema, who will handle these chores. Don?
Good morning, everyone. It's a special pleasure for me, someone who's been in the North Penn School District for quite some time, to be part of a dedication ceremony of this magnificent facility, knowing that I was also here when we dedicated the opening of North Penn High School in 1971. The activity for today, or my responsibility for today, and a great pleasure that I have, is to ask, first of all, Arthur Wood to come forward and join me up here on the stage. Arthur and I have been colleagues for all of my years, and he's been here many more than that, I'll say. But it's a special pleasure for me to dedicate our new auditorium, which we call the Audion. You'll all get an opportunity to see it following the ceremonies this morning. In following the commitment to excellence established by the North Penn School District Board of School Directors, today, October 23rd, 1999, we dedicate this Audion to Arthur Wood in recognition of his 40 years of unparalleled service to the North Penn School District, its students, and community. As you know, Arthur recently retired from the school district as the Executive Director of Support Services, a position in which he managed the North Penn's construction projects. And there were many of them, weren't there, Arthur? Including this addition from both concept to the actual reality. But Arthur began his career here as an industrial arts teacher and remains the eternal teacher. He's guided his staff to follow his example of excellence, and today we have 19 of the finest buildings of any school district in Pennsylvania. Arthur, in honor of your dedication to the excellence and to the North Penn School District, and in recognition of your varied accomplishments in the classrooms, at the board table, and on the construction site, we dedicate and name this Audion the Arthur Wood Audion. And there is a plaque already mounted, and you'll see that on the way out, donated by Don Rosetto, our general contractor for the project, and we thank you very much for that. It's with great pleasure that I present you with this honorary key to the Audion, dedicated in your name. May you visit us and the Arthur Wood Audion, it's hard to get used to saying that, for many years to come. Arthur? Thank you. Congratulations.
As I led up to this retirement thing, I think I've been pretty strong, stronger than I am at the moment. And I guess to put a little levity in it, there's a little guy in the back of the room that just learned his first words, pop, pop. And I hear him back there yelling, pop, pop, and I'm kind of glad his dad took him to the back. This is quite an honor for me. It puts me in a category with Jim Crawford, Bill Jacobs, and that's going to be difficult to live up to. And I hope that I have left my mark on the district as those gentlemen have. They were outstanding people. And of course, we have the Crawford Stadium and the William Jacobs boardroom. I need to thank everybody that helped me put this whole position in perspective and helped me when I needed help. And I say this as it relates to board members, as it relates to colleagues, as it relates to staff, as it relates to administrators. One of the things that happened was they always gave me the room I needed to do my job. And it was with the understanding that if I failed, I would know that quickly. And they would remind me of it. But we've had great successes. But successes come by cooperation and support. And I've had that support. And most importantly, and there's a lot of people here in the Wood family today, the Wood family has given me the support. There was never a question when I had to come back at night and stay through the night. There was never a question when I had to work 6 and 7 days a week. And there was never a question when we would go out for a ride in the evening and always wind up driving by North Penn buildings. Barbara was there. She understood it. My kids understood it. My kids have been a big part of this community, although they all went to Plymouth Whitemarsh. But they understand. Donna said that's my fault. They understand that North Penn will always be very important to me and to my family. So much so that our daughter Jennifer is a teacher at Bridle Path. She only wanted to come to North Penn upon graduation, and we're happy for that. Once again, thank you. It's been a great experience. It's been a great career for me, and what a wonderful way to end it. Thank you.
And you know, I think his family still understands this, because the other day when I saw Art, he said, "Oh, I just drove past the Inglewood School and the driveway looks great." So we know he'll be here forever. At this time, I'd like to introduce not only a school board member, but also a lifelong resident of the North Penn community, a graduate of North Penn High School, and a proud mother of North Penn students, who will preside over the dedication of the Audion. It's my pleasure to introduce the president of the North Penn Board of Directors, Mrs. Donna Mengel. Donna.
Thank you. Let me begin by saying, wow, I can't believe we're here. I look down at the board members, and I look at each one of them, and I look upon them with great fondness, and love and appreciation, and I say, wow, and we're here. Again, let me begin by thanking John Strobel, Facilities and the Security Department, for taking us seriously when we said don't screw up the weather on Saturday. John, I can't believe it, but you did it. It was a beautiful day, and as I was driving in, I couldn't help but notice it was crisp, it felt new, it was fresh, and it was clean. And it was a perfect day to dedicate a crisp, new, fresh, and clean addition to the lovely campus of the North Penn Communities, North Penn School District. The temptation today is to go back and look over the past and how we got here today. But I want to fight temptation today and talk about the future, because the future is right here in front of us. It's this building, it's these fine, dedicated students, it's Dr. Cotter, it's Dr. Hassler, it's Ted Heller from the band, it's Peter New from the music department, it's Mike Pettin in the football team, it's the faculty sitting here today, it's the board here today and the board that will be here after November. It's about the future. It isn't about the past. We've defeated the past. We have yet to take on the future. Today I plan on quoting two of my most favorite women in the world. One is the very humble woman, Anne of Green Gables. Anne said, "Tomorrow is a day with no mistakes in it yet." And that's true today. And it's true for North Penn, it's true for us as individuals, it's true for me, master of mistakes. It's true for every one of us, and it's an opportunity and a privilege to look at tomorrow and to know there's no mistakes in it yet. Tomorrow is a day of changes, choices, and great and mighty accomplishments yet to be accomplished by our staff, our faculty, our students, and our community. I also want to take time, I look back fondly on Mr. Thomas Clemens, who, being his humble self, chose to stand in the back. And though I appreciate how noble that is, Tom, you're not getting away with it. Would you please come down here and sit next to State Representative Fichter? Please, now. Tom was the first president that was a part of kicking off a decision. You got to leave early? The North Penn is a community full of dedicated parents. Tom's one of them. He can go to the back and pick up his daughter and do what's priority right. Yes, you may. Not only do we know it, but he's on tape, people. He's on tape. Tom, thank you very much for being our first president to lead the way on this edition, and it was a privilege to follow after you. And Arthur, thank you. It was a perfect segue for yet to come in this future by Hatfield Quality Meats. Anyway, at this time, and I did say I have two favorite women in the world, and I will quote my second favorite a little later on, but today is Saturday, October 23rd. The North Penn School District Board of School Directors dedicate this edition to the education of our community, both young and old, and in doing so recognize the school directors, school administrators, and educators who have established the excellence of education found within these walls. May the North Penn community continue to grow closer and stronger as we congregate and educate under this roof now and in the century to come, and forever be looked upon with great favor from above. At this time, I wish to introduce and bring forward senior high school leaders in Sagarbat, Sandy Chow, J.B. Ward, if you'd come forward. I'd be honored to share this podium with you. I believe Sagar is going to share a few comments with us. That's fine.
Hi, and good morning. Sandy Cho is our senior class president. J.B. Ward is the newly elected sophomore class president. They will place items into the cornerstone, which is up here that says 1999 on it, and I will gladly read these items that they will be placing inside. There will be a 1999-2000 North Penn School District activities calendar. A master bell schedule of the bell schedule that all the students follow in North Penn High School. North Penn athletic hat, photographs of the homecoming court, the mascot of the astronomy club, a green room playbill, a program of the marching knights, and also a photograph of the marching knights. A red ribbon donated by the Students Against Drunk Driving, also known as SAD. A Night Crier edition, which is the school's newspaper. Photographs of the construction process. A parking permit hang tag. A academics plus athletics plus activities excellence commemorative tile. A supplement which was in the reporter of the coverage of the new edition. North Penn 12th night football program. North Penn School District internet brochure. Counselor home office assignments. A student activity review handbook. Also the parent and student handbooks. A list of the faculty and staff included in the Welcome Back faculty information. Course selection card. A program of studies offered here at North Penn High School. Also a career pathway planner. An edition of the North Penn Life, accent on student life. North Penn School District Discipline Code. A pen donated by the Key Club here at North Penn High School. 1999-2000 faculty staff photograph. Also an edition of the Troubadour, which is a literary magazine written by students. The Auto Club donated a Matchbox car, hot rod model, which has all the members' signatures on it. The class of 2001 donated a common homeroom videotape. And as I wrap up, I'd like to ask everyone to join me in applauding all the people that everyone that contributed to these items being donated. So, thank you.
Thank you, Sagar, Sandy, and JB. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, quickly, before I leave, I would be remiss if I didn't take an opportunity and give praise and thank you to some special people, past and present. First of all, I'd like to thank the fathers and mothers that served on the board prior to this board. The many, many years of dedicated service to education and to the community. I think of the new high school, to me, is the school behind this door, because I got to be in this new high school the day that it opened. And so this addition is just a newer high school on an already new high school for some of us. I thank our town mothers and fathers for providing guidance and leadership during those times when they too were controversial times, deciding on what to do best for everyone's children. I also want to thank the commitment of the taxpayers. I think it's absolutely interesting. I had opportunity to talk to our finance director, Jim Sowers, and he shared with me that this community pays in its first 60 days their taxes to the tune of 84% of you. 84% of the taxpaying community pays in the 2% discount period. 96.5 in total pay within the normal time period for tax payments to October 31st. So this week, as this week closes, we will have in 96.5% of our taxes, based on 100%, to be able to operate this school district and provide for our children. Some people would quickly say, oh, that's because you're affluent. No, it's not. It's because we are responsible. We love our children. We believe in our community. We believe in the integrity of education and the necessity of it. We are responsible people. And I'm proud to live in this community, to learn responsibility from each and every one of you, those before us and those yet to come. I want to thank the neighbors during the construction period. Some of you may be sitting here. I could look around and maybe name some of you. I wouldn't want to miss anybody. Obvious, our largest neighbor from Calvary Baptist, the Reverend Dr. Timothy Jordan is with us today. Reverend, I thank you so much for the patience and the kindness that you've extended as a good neighbor and a good friend to the North Penn community in the North Penn High School. Thank you for sharing your facilities with us during the time that we needed to stretch a little bit to accommodate everything and everybody. You've been most gracious. I'd also like to thank the township officials, Michael Becker and David Honorato. Thank you for the best of your ability and within legal parameters provide us with the permits and the expedition that we needed to get this building not just on time, but before time. You're noble men, and we appreciate what you have done for us in your official capacities. And last but not least, never least, I look at the board members that I serve with currently and the few that I served on that are not here today, Tom Clemens included earlier. But my second favorite woman in the world is a queen from the Old Testament, Esther, and she said that she was born for such a time as this. And I think this board was brought together for such a time as this. And I'm going to cry. Geez, Art, this was your job. Art Wood was supposed to cry. I get to leave today. He gets the Odeon. Anyway. Oh, geez. I just look on you, and on our worst days, we were comrades in a cause. And on our best days, we laugh at each other, we make fun of each other, we cut up each other's ties. We love one another, we love each other's children, and we believed in each other even when we weren't so sure. And I thank each and every one of you. Vince Sherpinski, would you please stand? Pat Mosey, Don Hill, Vicki Scher, John Schilling, Frank O'Donnell, Terry Prokowski. My brothers and sisters on the board, we don't exclude Bill Allen. He's with his children today, doing what's right in terms of priorities. I thank each and every one of you and share this moment. Though you wouldn't all fit up here. It would start a fight, wouldn't it? I thank you, and I love each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out today. There are light refreshments to enjoy behind the staging area in the new high school. This is the newer edition. Right behind these doors. Please enjoy yourself before you take a tour of this lovely building. And please let us now end this dedication with a moment of silence for those of you that wish to reflect, and for those like me that wish to thank the one above for all things great and small. Please join me at this time. The North Penn High School alma mater will then follow. We ask you to please stand at that time. So if you would stand for a moment of silence.
We enter here at North Penn High.
Please remain standing. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. May God bless you and enjoy your tour.